It's noon in Colorado, and everybody knows what that means. Hey everybody, this is Leslie, and you are watching Lunch with Leslie at GoToKitchens.com, and it's Fermenting Week! How exciting! Oh my gosh, we're going to talk all about fermenting this week. Hey Roz, thanks for inviting followers, everybody. Oh, thank you. I'm sitting outside. Thanks. I'm sitting outside and I have to tell you, it's just like slightly chilly out here. So it's like 56 degrees, but there's a breeze. And so I thought I better put my scarf on so my teeth aren't chattering during my scope. How are you guys doing today? I hope you had an amazing weekend. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, it's good to see you. Hi everybody that's popping in. Thanks for sharing with your followers. If you don't know how to do that, you can just hit the little Perry guy, the little ball-headed guy in the corner. He's actually over here for you guys. If you touch that, it will give you an option to share with your followers. If you only have one follower, if you just know one person that you think would be interested in learning about fermented foods, then it's all worth it, and I appreciate it so much. Let me just take a quick second to introduce myself. I'm back now. My name is Leslie. I have a website, GoToKitchens.com. Hi, Jackie. It's nice to meet you. Awesome. Thank you. My name is Leslie. I have a website, GoToKitchens.com. It's right here in the title of the scope. If you guys are interested at all in food or health and wellness, you need to go check it out. There's some great information in there. It's actually kind of a sneaky way into getting health into your life without beating you over the head about it. So, I don't have anything for sale. Hi, it's good to see you. I don't have anything for sale, nothing for sale. The only thing that I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health. And that's what Go To Kitchens is all about. So, we are in the middle of fall here in Colorado. It's actually getting winter because we're getting down in the 20s at night. So it is absolutely beautiful. And when I think about fall, I think about fermented foods, but I think about fermented foods all the time. But fall really brings it to mind because we just got out of cabbage season. And so there was lots of great availability for different fruits and veg right at the end of summer. Yeah, kimchi, yummy. Yeah, and so this week we're going to take the entire week and we are going to talk nothing except fermented foods. But today I wanted to introduce you guys to fermented foods and make a couple of confessions about fermented foods and me personally. And then I also wanted to, sorry, my eye is watering. I also wanted to just kind of break it down for you guys a little bit and talk a little bit about why we ferment foods, where did it come from, and also about what are the benefits, what are the benefits for us today in today's society about, why is it the new thing, right? That is a great question, Roz. And it's one of the questions I ask myself. And so I want to help you guys discover why that is. So it's good to see everybody. Some of my regulars are on here today. Thank you guys so much for being so loyal and being here broadcast after broadcast and listening to me ramble on about these things. So this week, we are actually going to make some fermented foods. So after today, I'm going to be in the kitchen every single day after this. So it's not just for real Food Fridays this week. It's actually, I'm going to be in the kitchen every single day, and I'm going to, I am going to ask the tough questions, Roz. I am going to be breaking down the processes of how to make your own fermented foods. Because, okay, good. Thank you, Lolita. So, because fermented foods that you buy in the grocery store, they're actually kind of expensive and you can't control your own ingredients. And so I would like to teach you guys how to make things maybe that you've never even seen before, and then also how to control your own ingredients, which you know me, if you've listened to any of my scopes, controlling ingredients are, I think, one of the most important things that you can do for your health. So controlling what is going into your food that you're eating, I think, is one of the most important things that you can actually do for health. Woo! Did you see that bee? What is a bee doing around here this time of year? So, hi, it's good to see you, Tony. Thanks for being here. I saw you on an earlier scope today. Thanks for coming on to this one. So here's my confession. Here's my fermenting confession. So, I have only been introduced them into my diet, fermented foods, about since July of this year. So this is pretty new to me. And like Ross said, it started popping onto the health world and it has created an inferno. When I give fermenting classes, they are packed. We have to close the doors. We can't, most of the classes I do are about 25 people at a time. My live classes that I do here in Colorado, they're about 25. Hey, welcome in. About 25 is the max that I can accept, because that's all that I can handle for helping people learn how to ferment. And we pack the house with them. I mean, people are dying to learn about fermenting. So here's my confession. Let me start with my confession. My confession is that I hated fermented foods. Good class. I love Austin, actually. There's going to be some classes right here this week, Tony. So just stay on with my scopes, and I promise you'll learn all about it this week. So my confession is that I hated fermented foods, and unfortunately it stems from my parents buying sauerkraut when I was a kid, and that it was like in a can, so you get canned sauerkraut and you open it and it smelled so foul to me that I could hardly believe that anybody would put that in their mouth. I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, that's probably something that you would only want to do in moderation, but in addressing your AFib first before you started addressing fermented foods. So yes, so I just thought it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen or smelled in my entire life. And my parents would eat it like crazy. And in Texas, they would actually heat it up. So I am from Dallas, Fort Worth, by the way. And so my parents would heat up the sauerkraut and put it on foods. And it made the whole house stink. And it seemed like it made it stink for like days. And I hated when they had sauerkraut. So when people started talking to me about, hi, it's good to see you. When people started talking to me about fermented foods, yeah, you knew why you liked me. That's right, Texas girl. I was just disgusted by the thought of eating sauerkraut. So here it is. It's July. My very good friend, and I'm going to talk about her a little bit more, who helps me teach fermenting. I teach fermenting classes now. Isn't that funny? She wrote a book called Kaizen, and she and I met through a health and wellness class, actually a institute that we took and got a certification from. This is how we met. This is her book, Kaizen. Her name is Nanette Ochziger, and Ochziger. And I always screw up her name. We've been friends for a while. I still screw up her name. So this is her book. She has a whole section on fermenting. You guys want to screenshot this. I would recommend that you get this little book. It's $14.95, so screenshot it. Yeah, right? So take a screenshot and get yourself a copy of this book. You are going to love this book. When she says that it is a toolbox, right up there in the title, a toolbox, she is absolutely right. This is an amazing, amazing little book. Nanette is very practical in her, like I am, and that's why we work so well together, in her approach to health. And this is just a super practical, easy read guide for optimizing your health. And I absolutely adore it. So if you go and buy the book, you can buy it on Amazon. Please find her website. It's just NanetteOchziger.com, and send her a little note and tell her that you saw this Periscope and that's why you were buying the book. So even if you download it online, whatever you do, just let her know that Go To Kitchen sent you, or just say Leslie sent me. That's all you have to do, and she would be thrilled, because she and I do a lot of stuff together, and I am really trying to help her promote her book and get it out there, because it's an amazing, amazing little book. I love it. I refer to it all the time. I've been on a health journey for almost 3 years now. And did you warm sauerkraut? Yep, that's very popular. And I have been on a health journey for almost 3 years, and I still refer to this book. In fact, when I was writing this scope today, because I write all my scopes for you guys, I just don't go willy-nilly. I actually write my scopes for you every single day. And when I was writing this scope for today, I actually was referring to this book quite a bit. So it's a great, great little book, and I highly recommend it. And she has a whole section on fermented foods, and it's amazing. So back to my confession now. I said all that, so I wanted to introduce you to Nanette, so there you go. But back to my confession. So it was 4th of July. Nanette came to my house. I know, I'm so organized. Well, I have to be, or I'd be like a crazy person. We'd just be on here playing if I wasn't organized. And there's time for play. I love to play with you guys, but that's all we'd be doing. So if I wasn't organized. So it's 4th of July. Nanette's like, what can I bring? So she brings these amazing dishes, right? Because I know, right? Because we are both foodies. And so she brings like 3 amazing dishes, and she brings, and I'm going to try them all. And then she brings some sauerkraut that she had made. And it's in a jar like this. In fact, I made this one with her. It's in a jar like this, and I'm thinking, oh man, it's going to stink up my whole house. I was all bummed about it. I was like, dang. And not only that, but to be cool, I'm going to have to eat some. And so for 4th of July, we had traditional picnic type, you know, we grilled out and everything. And I actually made these amazing grass-fed burgers. And anyway, so we made burgers. And so I thought I know, open it outside, right? So I thought I will put this sauerkraut on my burger, and that will kind of hide the flavor, but then I can say that I ate some. So we opened it up. Actually, it didn't smell foul at all. And I was like kind of shocked. I was like, oh, I kind of like the way that smells. And I had it on my burger, and I could not get enough. I thought it was the best flavor I had ever had in my life. I was like, because I love sour things, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. You have to teach me how to make this. I mean, I'm freaking out. So by the end of the afternoon, because there was a lot of people here, by the end of the afternoon, the jar was like down about, you know, right here. We had eaten all that sauerkraut, and it was down to about right here. And she's, you know, getting ready. She's packing up to leave and everything. And I had not told her that I didn't like sauerkraut. I'm not going to say that. I'm a wellness professional, right? No, they do not make me gassy. And that's not, fermented foods do not make you gassy. Your stomach makes you gassy. That's what makes you gassy, not fermented foods. I'm not kidding you. There's a bee, and he really likes me. And I'm allergic to bees. So hopefully he'll just stay on his side of the scope. He's flying around everywhere. I'm not scared of him, but he just really wants to be in the periscope today. So she's packing up to leave, and I'm like, can you leave that jar? And she's laughing, because by this time I'd already confessed to her, and that's funny. And so I'd already confessed to her about my sauerkraut, you know, hating sauerkraut. So because of that one 4th of July, I was like, well, I better start trying some fermented foods. So because as I go and I cook with people in their houses with go-to kitchens, most of them are health and wellness professionals. And so they're always like, oh, you have to try my kombucha that I made. And I was like, I'm not trying your kombucha. I mean, I would just be like, you know, I'm not really a fermented food person. And so I was constantly turning people down. So I thought I better start trying some fermented foods. Oh my gosh. So this has opened up like a whole new world. And I was really healthy before. I mean, my gut health was pretty online before, but I have cut all my probiotic supplements. I don't even have to take a probiotic anymore. I mean, I could go off on a million things that have happened since I started. I was taking magnesium supplements so that I would not stay constipated all the time. That's too much information, but true. And I came off of that. I mean, fermented foods have changed my digestion. I thought it was good before. It is stellar now. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Oh, good, Ross. I have an example here of Synergy, actually. You need to try the Synergy Gingerberry. This Gingerberry is one of my favorites. It is just a little bit sweet and pretty fantastic. So I'm trying to get GT on the line this week to actually do like a blab with me. So I'm trying to make that happen, but we're kind of at a standstill right now. Do I eat meat? Yes. Yes, no, I'm not a vegan. I've been a vegan before in my life, but I'm not a vegan. I do eat meat. Yeah, Gingerberry is amazing. So on the Live brand, yeah, I like Live brand as well. That's a great brand. So, all right, so there's my confession. So why do we have fermented foods, and why are they so popular? Roz already asked that question. Very intuitive, Roz. Roz already asked that question today. So why do we have them in the first place? And, and why did we stop eating them? And why is there such a huge resurgence right now? Yeah, Kavetta is the brand that I tell people to use when they are just starting a kombucha adventure, because it's Their flavors are a little bit better. They have more sugar in them overall, but their flavors are a little bit more, yeah, they're much milder. Thank you. That's the exact word I was looking for. Yeah, so we're going to learn how to make kombucha on Friday. I'm going to be with an expert in kombucha, and we're going to do that on Friday. So watch on Friday or watch the replay. So fermented foods have been around since in recorded time, they know that they were around in ancient Rome, but the speculation is that they've been around for about, 6,000 years before Christ. So 6,000 BC, fermented foods had been around. And almost every culture in the world has some form of, thank you for inviting followers, some form of fermented foods. So I'm going to say fermented foods every other word. It feels like right now. So, but every culture has some form. I mean, so in Korea we have, kimchi. In India we have chutney. In China it's actually sauerkraut. A lot of people associate sauerkraut with the German culture, but actually it was developed in China. We have all kinds of fermented foods, and there's miso, there's kefir, there's dairy fermented foods, there's drinks. The kvass that I'm going to show you later this week is actually like a Eastern Europe type drink. That's where that came from. And so almost every culture has some sort of fermented foods and have had them for a long time. So in the late 1800s, fermented foods were around so that things would not spoil. Is there a non-dairy kefir? No, I do not believe that there is. I think all kefir is dairy. I could be mistaken on that, but if it is, it's probably really processed. Although, you know what? I had a friend that made coconut kefir, so that's non-dairy. I know that she made coconut kefir, so and that's non-dairy. So yeah, there probably is an option. You should Google that, coconut kefir, and see if you can make it. So lactose-free. I don't know about that actually. I'm not an expert in kefir. I need to be taught how to make it, and yogurt as well. And when we do fermenting week again, we'll do some fermented dairies for you guys. So, and other things. So this week we're just going to focus mostly on drinks and sauerkraut. So yeah, you can make it with coconut milk. That's what I thought. So in the late 1800s in the world, refrigeration became available. And so mostly commercially in places like big hotels or in hospitals or things like that, they actually started with refrigeration. As that became more popular commercially in the 1920s, refrigerators became available in homes. So you could just go and buy a refrigerator and have a refrigerator. I can't remember the year. I think it's like 1923 or something like that. The first refrigerator started hitting in the homes. And so there was really no need for fermented foods. So we sail along pretty much okay until we start getting into the 1960s and the 1970s when we get an insurgence of prepackaged foods. And then it's the TV dinner. It's the 1950s, TV dinner time. Yeah, they had ice boxes before that, but those were not to store all of your food in. Those were for fresh meats and things like that. So not even your vegetables or fruits or anything got stored in that. So, and they were meant for bigger projects, not necessarily for smaller projects like we think about, just dinner. Right now, most of you have things for dinner tonight that are sitting in your refrigerator, and that's not necessarily how it would have gone in the ice box of the time. So, but that's where it all started. I mean, that's where the thought processes started coming behind. So my family in Louisiana still had a fridge and an icebox. Yep. 1970s TV dinners. So this started happening and people started getting used to prepackaged food. So this allowed our schedule to be freed up. This allowed mom to go to soccer practice and take the kids to do, go to the movies or whatever. It freed up mom's time. And that became a very integral part of our society in the world, not just in America, but in the world. It became a very first world problems, let's put it that way. So So this became, yes, processed foods are no good. So this became a really big problem as we have been doing it now for 30, 40 years. We've been eating all of these processed foods. We have a generation that was brought up on them, and one, they don't know how to cook. Two, they don't want to cook. Three, they are plagued with all kinds of health problems. I mean, how many, when I was a kid, nobody talked about, my grandfather he was a diabetic, but he had it because he probably ate a whole cake a week, and he had worn out his pancreas just by his diet that he had. So, but I mean, we didn't talk about it as an epidemic, like you knew a few people that had, that were diabetic, or in autoimmune diseases. We didn't talk about those at all. We didn't talk about autism very much. We didn't talk about a lot of these things that have cropped up over the past 30, 40 years in this generation of people. And now, into like 2 and 3 generations of people that are being plagued with this. And so, that's right. It's not real food, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, in the TV dinners of the 1970s, now don't quote me on this, but, it probably had some real components. I know that the McDonald's of the 1970s and the McDonald's today are totally different. And the reason is because food manufacturers are looking for ways to increase profits. And so they manufacture foods and they manufacture chemicals that make it so that they can make it cheaper but still taste like food to you. And we are so spoiled to consistency. I mean, we really want everything to be consistent. When you go to a Chili's in Fort Collins, Colorado, and you go to a Chili's in Dallas, Fort Worth, or in Amsterdam, and you get the baby back ribs, you want them to taste the same. You want them to taste the same as they do in Fort Collins, as they do in Dallas, as they do in Amsterdam. You want your food to be consistent. And to achieve that consistency that we have gotten spoiled to, then they have to chemically alter the food to make that happen for you. So there you go. Now, I am not railing on these types of establishments, and I am not railing against the food industry. Honestly, I think that the fault lies with us as a community. We have learned to accept it. We have learned to be spoiled to it. And so, I think that, just us as a race, that we have failed ourselves. And so, and there's Edison. So, and we are just responding to that, as a whole, because we like to be spoiled. And so the food manufacturers are just responding in kind to that. And so, Robin's going to come save the day with Edison, so in society today, in the foods that we eat right now, I said all that to say this. In society today, in the foods that we eat right now, and the products that we use in our home, we are killing our flora in our gut, meaning the good bacteria. And that is happening with antibiotics, which means anti-life. And I'm not talking about anti-human life. I'm talking about anti-life, meaning it's killing a bacteria. And not only does it kill a bacteria, it kills all bacteria. And so when you take an antibiotic, you are harming your gut health. I'm not saying don't take antibiotics. I don't take them personally, but I'm not telling you, don't take an antibiotic. That is completely up to you, but just know what it's doing to you when you do take one. So antibiotics, I mean, things like antibacterial soap, they're antibacterial. You wash your hands with it. You eat food with your hand. The soap residue gets on the food, it gets in your mouth, and it gets in your gut. So ultimately, these types of things end up in your gut. And we are, I don't care where you go, you can go into any store nowadays, except for the health food stores that I go into, which don't have these things. And there's going to be antibacterial wipes there for you to wipe your cart down. Now, I can tell you that if your immune system is running like it's supposed to, you don't need to worry about wiping your cart down, because whatever's on that cart is probably not going to get on you. And if it does, then it's okay. If you get a cold every once in a while, it's okay. body. It's your body's response to something, and it actually builds antibodies to prevent it from happening again and less severe. So just keeping all that in mind. Walmart carts, I know they're I know it feels like they're gross and whatever, but honestly, those antibacterial wipes are way more dangerous than the things that are on those carts. So, because antibacterial anything, soaps, wipes, anything like that, those are not good for you. Yes, actually. Yes, your 6-month-old has a runny nose. You keep an eye on that. You keep him hydrated. You keep him, or she, I'm sorry. I think you said he. You have twin boy. Okay, boy and a girl. Yeah, so you keep him hydrated. You do what you're supposed to do when a child is not feeling well like that. But as a child, he is actually building an immune system in his body. So letting a kid not get dirty nowadays is not really a great thing. You need to be exposed to those bacteria. So yes. So that is why there has been such a rebirth of fermented foods, because we're killing off of our gut flora. The first thing that popped into everybody's health, awareness was probiotics. Probiotics are everywhere right now. They are advertised in mainstream foods like Activia. They're advertised in mainstream commercials nowadays. Like you see a probiotic commercial almost every single time you watch the news. There's a probiotic commercial, and so people are talking about probiotics. However, yeah, and that happens, and it's going to happen. You cannot ever prevent that from never happening, Roz. You know that. It's going to happen, but they're just building up immunities. Your body, when it's fighting an infection, a lot of people try to fight the fever that comes along with an infection, but really what you should be doing is letting your body have the fever, as miserable as you feel, because it's your body's response into fighting that infection that's in the body. So it's not fun. It's never fun to get an infection or to have a problem like that, but it does help you build antibodies as you go through life. So yes, Digestion Doc for sure has that information as well. So to help, if you're taking a probiotic and you're doing that on a regular basis, you're probably not, actually they are refining them where they're getting pretty good at them now, but you're not getting every probiotic, and you're certainly not able to assimilate it like you do when you get live probiotics. And so the health industry, the health and wellness industry, discovered that fermented foods, well, we knew this, but had huge amounts of probiotics in them. And your body actually recognizes them very, very well and can assimilate them very well. And so, and it gets in your gut and does these amazing things. Some, I don't know what that means. Some have soy in them. So, really got sick. Yeah. So probiotics are actually what you're after when you are eating fermented foods. And fermented foods, because they're growing bacteria, because this sauerkraut is in its fermenting stage, is constantly, this is about 2 weeks old actually, is constantly in its fermented state, is growing good bacteria that's actually good for the gut. So that is why the fermented foods have made such a resurgence, because the body recognizes them better, and it is actually better to get your vitamins and nutrients and probiotics and enzymes in your food. Does Greek yogurt have, as long as it's not been pasteurized? If it's been pasteurized, no. Not the same thing. Beer has actually been pasteurized as well, so it's been heated and it kills off all of the good bacteria. If it had not been heated, it would actually have the bacteria in it, but that also has yeast in it, which is not great for the body. So in that state, anyway. So all right, let's not get off track here. So here's the benefits of fermented foods. So let's say you are going to, let's say you're going to start fermented foods. And I promise you, even if you think you have great gut health and you are not eating any fermented foods, if you really want to ramp it up, I mean really ramp it up, then I promise you eating a tablespoon of sauerkraut a day can change your life. I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. Having half a kombucha having half a kombucha a day can heal things in your body that are, you think are unhealable. So I always say a kombucha a day keeps the laxative away. It absolutely does. So if you're suffering from constipation or even diarrhea, which is actually a form of constipation, but if you are suffering from any of those things, you can, yeah, this is just the Synergy brand. I'm actually going to show you how to make your own. So best brand of non-homemade sauerkraut would be Bubby's. Anything refrigerated that doesn't have vinegar in it. So for sauerkraut. But I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut tomorrow. It's so stinking easy. It's ridiculous. It's so stinking easy. You're going to go, really? Why have I not been doing this? It is so easy. I have made hundreds of converts from buying their own to making their own because it's so easy. Yeah, I think in moderation you might be fine. I would try to figure out why the thyroid is low, actually. So, okay, what does it do for the body? Thank you. Number one, it improves your digestion. We were just touching on that just a little bit there. So it improves your digestion. It actually creates an environment. So as the bad bacteria starts to exit, it actually eats up the bad bacteria. So as the bad bacteria starts to exit or be eaten up by the good bacteria, it actually creates a environment in the gut that allows the gut to recognize probiotics more easily. So and essentially the more you eat it, the better that it recognizes it. So maybe the first week you don't have any results. 2, 3, 4 weeks later, I promise you, you're going to have some results in your gut health. You're going to have less bloating. You're going to have less, if you're constipated, you're going to have less of that. You're going to go to the bathroom regularly. So nope, it's not like probiotics that you have to take in a supplement. That's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. I did not have that in my notes. So if you're taking a supplement of probiotics, you should take it on an empty stomach. So you should take it on an empty stomach with a full glass of water. If you're eating sauerkraut, you can actually, or drinking kombucha, it can actually be done, it can be done with food. So I missed that last comment. I'm sorry. That I missed that last comment. So yes, so it improves, and it also, once your gut is healthier, you start absorbing nutrients better. So once the gut starts to heal up and it starts accepting good bacteria, this is my gut hand. Okay, this is what I think a gut looks like. So, but seriously, thinking about this being your gut and it being closed instead of open like this, but if this was your gut and the fibers in your gut, and it starts accepting good bacteria, your body, no, you can just do kombucha with anything. So that's my gut hand. So, but your body actually starts absorbing nutrients better. So all the other foods that you're putting in your body actually are absorbed better. And so, and again, if you want clockwork poops, kombucha and sauerkraut are awesome for that. So if you want detoxification in the system, they are a scrub brush for that. So I highly recommend them for that. So the next point I want to make, yeah, it can actually. What do you do? Actually, so that's a whole different scope, and we can talk about that at another time, but I can give you some tips for that. So I know, cool, yum, right? You're eating something that's actually scrubbing out things. So, 70 to 80% of, yeah, sorry, I don't want to get too far off track. So, 70 to 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. So if you can imagine that you're having gut issues. Now, any of these are going to be like Crohn's, colitis, IBS, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, anything like that are signaling your body, or your body is signaling you that it has a problem in the gut and it wants to be healed. And so those are the signals, especially if you're just suffering, let's say you're just suffering from blast, gas, and bloating. That is your body signaling you that it has a problem within the gut. These types of foods can actually help with that. When you heal that, your immune system actually starts to react better. So those sniffles, those grocery carts that you're using the antibacterial wipes for, all of those things, you're actually better prepared in your body to deal with those. So, I mean, I haven't had a cold in forever, and I don't even need to knock on wood. So somebody would say, you know, you better knock on some wood because you said you haven't had a cold in forever. But I don't need to. I was just on a plane on a long haul flight from Hawaii. The woman behind me and my husband was deathly ill. I swear to you, she was so sick. She was hacking and hacking and hacking on the back of my head for 6 hours. And I was thinking, boy, this is a good test of my immune system. And so I got home, and I was like, she was really sick, and I could tell she just wanted to be home, and she was trying to be respectful, and it was hard. She was trying to hold her coughs. I felt so bad for her, actually. You could tell she was really, really sick. And so she's probably been on vacation, and she just wanted to go home, and I don't blame her. And so but she was doing this the whole time, and I thought, boy, I hope I don't get this cold. And I was actually a little paranoid about it. And so a few days went by, 4 or 5 days went by, nothing, no cold. Now, 4 years ago, one sneeze from this woman, and I would have been sick. And that's because those kinds of things just jumped on me. They loved me. So any type of sinusitis or any type of allergies or any type of colds, I know she needs some sauerkraut, that's right. They would just jump on me. And now, even if I do get a cold, it's just minor. It's like a few days and it's gone. And so, and it's not because I have it's not because I'm bulletproof. I mean, if somebody like had the flu and like threw up on me, I would probably get the flu, but the stomach flu, but I probably wouldn't have it as bad as I had if my immune system wasn't in line like it is. So fermented foods can actually improve the gut health, which will actually improve your immune system, because that is where a lot of your immune system lives. So I'm going on to page 2 now. Finally, we're getting off of page 1, going to page 2. It's way better, and we talked about this slightly. I stopped because of low T3, but it's been back to normal ranges. Okay to reinduce the sauerkraut. You know, I'm not a doctor, and I don't ever want to be one when I grow up or anything. But maybe it's worth a discussion with a health professional about that. And I'm not talking about like a medical doctor. I'm talking about maybe even hiring a naturopath. You guys, naturopaths are way cheaper than you think they are. Functional medicine doctors are not like going to the doctor like a medical doctor. Functional medicine doctors are able to read your lab results and point you in a direction of health through food. And so I have 2. I highly recommend that you get 1 or 2. I have 2 of them. A naturopath. Yeah, or natural doctor, naturopath, functional medicine. They're cheap, relatively speaking. For me, it seems cheap because I go to not my real doctor, but my medical doctor. I go see her, and it costs me, you know, my insurance is billed like $250. I go to see my naturopath, and he charges me $35 for what it's worth. So like the price of a copay to go see my naturopath. And he spends like half hour, 45 minutes with me and gives me a to-do list of things to correct the problem that I'm having. So yes, he was able to look at my estrogen levels after breast cancer and tell me how to correct my diet so that my estrogen levels would start lining up where they should be for a woman my age, which is 45. Yeah, naturopaths are amazing. They can help you with all kinds of things. Now, don't abandon your medical doctor. Here's the thing that people do. This is a total rant. This is not on the subject, but I have to say this. So a lot of people will abandon their medical doctor and just go all holistic. I think that there is a happy marriage between the two. I love my medical doctor. She is amazing, and she helps me. She knows what my health objectives are, which are to try to treat things naturally, and she understands it. And and she helps me through testing. Oh, awesome. That's amazing. It's nice. That's great. How long has it been? I didn't see that, I don't think. I'm 2.10 years, by the way. Breast cancer. Left breast. These are my boobs. You can't see them, but they are my boobs. So I like to get that out of the way so people aren't speculating. 10 years. Awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. That is amazing. But to marry the two, to marry your naturopath with your medical doctor is amazing, is amazing, for your health, because Yes, well, they're already leaning towards that. My naturopath, I mean, when I was struggling with the virus that I was just getting rid of, that I'm over now, hopefully for good. But when I was getting rid of that, she was like, you need to do more yoga and, you know, you should talk to your naturopath about blah, 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 because it's things that she could not prescribe to me, but things that she wanted me to do and to look into. And so she was amazing that way. So find somebody that accepts your natural tendencies to be more natural and marry that with a naturopath that can guide you. But these professionals are skilled. You know, Google is never going to take the place of a medical professional or a professional in the natural world. So please, hey, Ben, somebody just said, I hope Ben's watching these scopes because he loves sauerkraut. That's so funny. I think Natalie said that actually. So hi, Ben. It's good to see you. So marry the two because they both have benefits. I know it's funny, right? They both have benefits. And so marry those two so that you can get the best benefit for you. Because if you ever break your arm or you ever, heaven forbid, have a heart attack or something like that, you want to go see your medical doctor because that's who's going to help you. So yes. So, and they can help you with testing so you don't have to pay out of pocket for it. They can help you with all kinds of things. So have both of those relationships. Okay, so that was totally off topic, but yes, now I've said it and we'll go back to the topic. So, so probiotics that you get in fermented foods are way better for you than you get in a supplement. Supplements are great. If you're not eating, yes, sauerkraut is good. Absolutely. If you're not eating a lot of fermented foods or fermented foods at all, then you should probably be considering a nice high quality probiotic because your body needs that, especially in our modern environment. So you need to be feeding your gut with some good probiotics. So, and look for things that have multiple strains of probiotics. And I won't go through all of that. That's a whole different scope. But yes, so if you're not eating fermented foods, then you should be considering a probiotic. My husband does not eat fermented foods, so I have him on a probiotic supplement. So, and no soy. No, I do not. We do not eat soy in our house. I'm a breast cancer survivor. There's no soy around here. So maybe once in a blue moon, like in some soy sauce or something, but very, very rarely. I use coconut aminos mostly. So fermented foods, especially fermented vegetables like you get, I mean, you can ferment just about anything. Some of it gets mushy, so you want to be careful. I've experimented with all kinds of things, but this is a carotito, which has carrots and some other spices in it, and onion and jalapeno. So there's all kinds of things in here for the fermenting of this particular type of sauerkraut. Yeah, it's so good. I love carotito. It's my favorite actually. Out of all the krauts, carotito is my favorite. So there's different things in here, so you can ferment all kinds of vegetables. There is a treasure trove, and I'm talking about a treasure trove in a tablespoon of this stuff. It is a treasure trove of vitamins and minerals that your body can assimilate and recognize. So it's an amazing product for you to think about making on your own so that you don't have to buy the store-bought and you can control the ingredients. Yes, we're making sauerkraut tomorrow. Yeah, not carotito. I have a recipe for carotito on my website, but we're making just plain sauerkraut tomorrow. So yes, that's what we're doing. So yes, so it's a plethora. A kombucha, same thing. There's all kinds of vitamins and minerals, and there's all the bacteria right there in the bottom of that are great for you. So just keeping all of that in mind, they're a treasure trove of that, plus the good bacterias. So not only are you getting, in a lot of foods you can get vitamins and minerals, but now you're getting the good bacterias as well. Well, I missed that whole, I saw something about protein drink or protein, I'm sorry, what kind of protein, I'm sorry, I missed that. You'll have to retype that. I'm sorry, I hate it when it's a long one and I have to have you retype it, but you have to retype it. So here's another point. It gives your gut, no, I'm not a vegan, not at all. I am I eat meat, I eat vegetables, I eat about an 80-20, my husband eats an 80-20 diet. I eat a 90-10 diet. So I'm 90% vegetables and fruits. Out of that, I'm about 50% raw, and then I eat 10% of the rest of the food in the world. So grains, meats, dairies, those sorts of things. So my website is gotokitchens.com. It's right in the title of the scope here. So By the way, let me just reintroduce, thank you. My name is Leslie, by the way. I do this scope every weekday at noon Mountain Time. That is my regular scoping time, and we cover topics. We start with the topic, like this week is fermenting week, so we start with the topic and we talk about it all week long. Last week was sugar week. The week before that was metabolism killers, and so that's what we do. So we just break down a subject to get you guys to fully understand how these things are working and what and how to make them and how to put them into your diet. So these are pre-digested foods, basically, somewhat. Now, don't go downtown crazy thinking you don't have to chew it or anything like that. But because there is some bacteria in here that has already gone to work on decomposing and breaking down the cabbage in here, and the other things in here, this is actually starting, this is actually already started the digestion process. When it gets in your mouth and you start chewing it and it mixes with your spit, I know, gross, right? But it mixes with that, and then it starts getting down into the gut, then it further digests it. But this gives your gut a little bit of a break in the digestion of things that are a little hard to digest, like cabbage. Raw cabbage has to be chewed very, 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 very well because your gut does not have teeth in it, so it has to be chewed very, very well for optimum nutrient absorption and digestion. Getting it this way is actually a great way to get some pre-digested enzymes into your body. Now, knowing that you can only eat about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of this a day, or that's all you should eat if you don't want to have the poops, especially when you're first starting out, then, you know, you say, oh, well, that's not very much, but this is like a power punch with that. So you kind of have to think about this as a supplement in your diet almost to a degree. So yes, but it does give your gut a break. So like I said before, a gluten-free week. I could do a gluten-free week. It's actually not on the schedule, but I could actually do a gluten-free week. Yeah, that might be a good week to talk about. I can absolutely do that. I'll do that just for you. Oh, yummy. Yeah, when you cook cabbage, it actually breaks it down as well, so that's good. Yeah, bok choy and cabbage are amazing for you. Please, you need help. Okay, yes, I can probably help you with that. So when your digestion starts lining up, yeah, I agree with you on that, Ben, and that would be something that I would talk about because GMO is gluten-free is kind of a buzzword, and there are so few people that are actually celiacs. I mean, there's like, I can't remember the percentage of the population, but it's very, very small. So, so yes, I agree with that. When you start digesting foods properly and your stomach is working in the optimum, when it's working in its optimum levels, you start to see things start to heal up. One of my biggest problems is that with my healthy diet, it felt like that my body was in constant detox. And so because I eat so many vegetables, and that's what vegetables are there for, they are there to help detox the body. And I would eat so many of them that it felt like I was in a constant state of detox. And so my gut was a little off because of that. And I had acne. I mean, you see my skin, right? I have no acne. I had acne, especially like right here on my neck. I would get it really, really bad. And so my naturopath and I decided that it was probably linked to my gut health. And it was because my body was in a natural state of detoxification all the time. And so we started introducing a little more meats into my diet and these fermented foods as well, different ones. Although I kind of did it myself, he also guided me on how to do it. And my acne within a week had cleared up completely. I rarely get acne anymore. Every once in a while I'll get a zit, and it's typically because I didn't wash my face good or something like that. But all of my acne cleared up completely. I would get it like on the backs of my shoulders and up on the top because my hair sits up there all the time, and I would get it up here, sometimes on my chest, and it just completely cleared up. And I will tell you, I think it's because of the fermented foods. It actually started healing my gut up, and I'm so much better for it. So Yes, but people, I have people, now these are not wonder drugs. These are not, you know, if you have a thyroid issue and all of a sudden you think, oh, I'm going to heal it with fermented foods, or I'm going to heal my gut and it'll go away. No, you probably still have some work to do there, but it can aid in that. It certainly aids in helping with autoimmune disorders. It aids in helping with people who have even heart problems or high blood pressure or low blood pressure, or people who are, have other, you know, other problems. I have a whole list here. I guess I should look down at it. Digestion, of course, and then inflammation in the body. So a lot of things that happen in our body is caused from inflammation in our bodies. This actually helps reduce inflammation in the body. So it can help a lot of different ways. So there's a whole bunch of reasons in this scope that you should be considering fermented foods in your diet. The types of fermented foods: sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, homemade yogurt, miso, kvass, kombucha. This week, I am going to show you, tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut. We're going to go through the how-to steps. We're going to do it live tomorrow at noon Mountain Time. We're going to learn how to make some sauerkraut. It's so stinking easy. You're going to flip out and think, oh my God, why have I not been making it? Especially if you're buying store-bought. We're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. So sauerkraut is tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'm going to teach you how to make this. Oh, goodness, this is heavy. I'm going to teach you how to make this. Isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you, that's gorgeous. Hey, Coach Cosmo, it's good to see you. This is a beet kvass. Isn't it lovely? Oh my gosh, this is actually a ginger kvass. It's good to see you. Yes, yep, this is a beet kvass. This has been fermenting for about 3 days now. In fact, I need to get it back in its dark place, but I know, she's like all over that, Coach Cosmo. She is like, Dr. Christine is all over PPCSW. So sorry, this is kind of off topic here, but yes, it just cracks me up. She's like writing it everywhere, and it's hilarious. I love her to death, so. Yeah, this is, you can buy these large mason jars. You can buy 6 of them for like $10, and they're a great investment. You can put other things in there besides doing fermentation, but yes, so beet kvass, I'm going to teach you how to do that. No, that was you. You're the one who did it. Well, I think we did it together, actually. We'll both take credit for it. How's that? But yeah, so this is the beet kvass. I just bought mine at the grocery store. I just buy buy mine right at the grocery store. So this is already starting to fizz up a little bit, which is awesome. So that's what we're gonna make on Wednesday. On Friday, on Thursday, I'm gonna teach you how to make this. This is just as equally as beautiful. Yeah, no, you can buy, you don't have to throw away the jars. You can just throw away the lids and buy new lids. You know that though. Oh, your lids. That's what you said, the lids. Ginger ale. Nope, not ginger ale. Good guess though. Nope, not ginger ale. This is actually this fermented for like 3 days. This is so the real drink is tempeche, which is a Mexican drink that they make in Mexico. This is not a true form of that because I refuse to use that much sugar in a thank you, that's right, in a 3-day process. And so this, I just use coconut sugar in this. Ginger ale, yeah, I just use coconut sugar in this. And this is a fermented pineapple drink. So it's not a true tempeche. So this is like a fizzy, yeah, it's coconut sugar. Yep, coconut sugar with the fermented pineapple, and it fermented so quickly. Oh my gosh, in like 3 days. It was like, boom, got it. If I had let it go longer, you'd get drunk if you drank this. Yes, it is. The story is under Meet the Hands, Cosmo. Yes, takeaway soda. Yeah, this is a great drink. This is the first time I've ever made it, and I love it. I'm already like addicted to it. So yes, and it's made from pineapple parts that you're gonna throw away. So that's the beauty of it, and it's a fast ferment. Now this is not gonna be full of probiotics, but it is gonna have some. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for passing on my way. Yeah, I'm not a chef. I'm just a cook, so. No, but you could use whey in it. You absolutely could use some whey in it to make it more potent that way. So, but I mean, as I'm talking about people that are new to fermenting, I don't want to I want them to have things that taste like super yummy and not like they're like, I can't drink this. This is gross. So yeah. And that's why I made ginger kvass. I made it beet kvass, but I made it ginger, and I'm going to put, I'm going to squeeze some orange juice and use that with it as well to kind of temper it down a little bit, because it's really earthy when it's just the beets. Eventually you'll get used to it and you'll want to just drink the beets. But yeah, so Central Time, it's going to be 1 p.m. your time every weekday. Yes, 1 p.m. Texas time. And then on Friday, I don't have any here because I'm going to learn as well. I've never made kombucha. So yes, it's super major, and especially people that are just starting their health journey. I like for them to have things that taste good, that they'll go back to and actually drink. So, so yes, sometimes, you know, you have to fake it till you make it. So yes, so I like people to get their palates used to having things that are good for them. Yeah, so I have never made kombucha in my life, and so I am going to a friend who's actually an expert. So I will be in Denver on Friday with her live in her kitchen, and we are going to make kombucha, and we're going to take you through all the steps. Yeah, I just need a big jar. So, and I only have this because this is what I'm drinking to date, but a lot of people find that this is really expensive, and so they don't want to, although I love this brand, they do not want to buy it all the time. So yes. All right, so there you go. That's what's happening this week. What time is it? Oh my gosh, long scope, super long, because I got on 2 soapboxes today. Does anybody have any questions? Can I help anybody? Do you guys want to play around now? Do you have any fun things to tell me? Anything like that? So yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. This week's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun in the kitchen. Usually I'm just in the kitchen on Friday, so thank you, Ben. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very proud of my website. I cannot take credit for it. I actually had it built, and they captured my emotion of go-to kitchens so well, and I absolutely adore my website. So thank you. Yes, I'm very proud of it. Thank you, thank you. So the website is gotokitchens.com. There's nothing for sale over there. There's not even any advertisement. There's no affiliate links. You cannot buy anything. The only thing I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health. You want to get your body in order. Yeah, good. That's good. It's good to identify why you want to do that. If this is your first, I could do that actually. If you want to go to my Facebook page, I can tell you the things that you're going to need if you want to make it along with me. Yeah, that would be a little difficult because there's some processes that you need to do before you make the kombucha. But yeah, we can get a list together. So yeah, I can do that. I may not have it before Friday. I'm very busy this week, but maybe I can do that. So. Really? Were they good? I would be interested to know how awesome those were. Everything is Go-To Kitchens. So yes, all social media, every social media on the planet, you can find me at Go-To Kitchens. Yes, so thank you, Mary. That's very sweet. So yes, so if you're just starting your health journey, so let me just say a word. Yeah, see you next time. Thanks for being here, Ben. I don't see you live very often. It's good to have you here. Thanks for your input. Yeah, you have a great day too. So if you're just starting a health journey, if this is all new to you, then I want you to consider your motivations, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to get healthy. I want to get healthy. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to eat healthier. And then they end up in the drive-thru at McDonald's. And then they get really disappointed in themselves. And here's why I think that happens. I think that happens because they haven't truly identified within themselves what their motivation is. So let me just give you an example. I got cancer. That's a huge motivator. So you don't want that kind of motivation, trust me. So I got cancer, and I really firmly believed that my body built the cancer cells and had the cancer cells because of something that I was not doing properly. And so that my health was out of whack. There was some reason that my body produced cancer cells. And so I wanted to fix that. That's awesome. I love it. I want the recipe. Send me the recipe. That's great. So I really felt like something had happened. So that's where my motivation started from. That's where I started identifying why I wanted to make changes in my body. So somebody, it may be you want to look better in your bathing suit. Some people it may be, I want to fit in a size 5 skinny jean or whatever it is. Good. I'm glad you're here too. I just want you to identify what that motivation is. And it doesn't have to be a life event. In fact, don't wait until it's a life event. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't start something because of something else. Start it because you have found an inner fire within to make changes. My husband is another perfect example of this. He's a little bit older than me. I'm 45 and he's 62. And my husband is in amazing condition. His health is stellar. For 62 years old, he's absolutely amazing. So really, he could just stay on his regular old crappy diet that we used to eat and probably be fine. But as he ages, he wants to stay in that kind of condition. So that's where his inner fire comes from. That's where his passion comes from for taking care of his health. And I will tell you, he's always been way healthier than me anyway. He's always taken steps for his health way more than I did anyway. And so I can tell you that we would all be lucky to be 62 and be in his condition. He's in amazing health. So, but he just took it more serious. So yeah, so I don't follow any diet principles. I do not follow gluten-free or paleo or vegan or vegetarian or anything like that. I have a diet that is mostly plant-based. Yeah, he does look much younger than 62. I agree. Yeah. And when you see him in person, you can really tell that he's really taking great care of himself. So, but yeah, so I eat mostly plant-based. So 90% plant-based, fruits and vegetables, those sorts of things. And then 50% of that is raw. So 50% of my plants, that I eat are actually raw, and the other 50% are cooked typically. And this is just an average. Yeah. See you later. Thank you so much for your sweet message. I appreciate it so much. And so that's that. And then the other 10% is where I fit in, dairy, grains, what other thing would be in there? I don't know. Those are about the only things that I eat. So yeah, so refined foods like sugar or anything like that, which is really, really rare for me to have. So yes, but yeah, that's how I eat. I do not have that information on my website. I do not have a book. No, I've been approached about writing books and things like that. I call it a moderation diet. So everything in moderation is really the biggest principle that I follow. So if if we're out somewhere and I want to have a French fries, then I eat them. I do not deny myself anything, but it's certainly in very, very moderate amounts of anything that would be negative or affect my body negatively, because once you have cancer, you never want it again, ever, ever, ever. So that's a huge thing for me. Thanks for sharing. Oh my goodness. Somebody shared and all these people popped in. It's good to see everybody. We're actually getting to the end of the scope. I hope you'll go and watch the replay about our fermented food week that we're doing this week. So just a quick repeat. This week we are doing all fermented foods. Today we talked about why we ferment and how come it's such a buzzword nowadays, and why people are just on this bandwagon of fermenting. And then the rest of this week we're going to learn how to make kombucha, sauerkraut, a pineapple drink, and a kvass. So oh, good. I'm glad you love to ferment. Yes, they are the best probiotics. Thanks for backing me up on that. I went off on a whole rant about that. So looking at my steak recipe, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually. That one skillet steak recipe is amazing. Just make sure that you're buying grass-fed beef. So that's the other thing that I do, is I try to control my ingredients. So I eat very little out of a box, package, pouch, can, anything, unless I've put it there. I eat very, very clean. So all organic, all my fruits and vegetables are organic. That's the only thing that we'll have in our house. If I can't get it organic, we don't buy it. And I'm not talking about packaged foods. I'm talking about real foods. Yes, good microbes, absolutely. Yeah, canning is awesome. I love canning as well, and I'm so glad people are coming back around to it and trying new things and doing new things with our modern technology. We have the ability to can like crazy and make amazing stuff. So yeah, so we eat super clean, and yeah, and that's just kind of our diet or our lifestyle. So, and it's really stinking easy to follow. It's not rocket science. You do not have to you don't have to read a whole book to understand my eating principles. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Tony. I was glad to see you this morning, and then I've seen you on all the scopes I've been on this morning, and now you're here. So thank you for that. Yeah, welcome to Periscope. Yeah, canning can be a lot of work, but you get a lot of food for not a lot of money. So thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, so you get a lot of food for not a lot of money, though. I mean, you have to admit, you know, you can buy this size of sauerkraut in the grocery store would be 20 bucks, and you did not control the ingredients, and you can make this for about probably about $4. Not even that much. That's including the jar. So yeah, once a year canning. Yeah, canning in season. I like canning in season. So yep, canning in season is awesome. Yep, absolutely. So you have it all year. I do a lot of freezing that way as well. So I don't eat a lot of cream sauces. So that's not something that I would, that's something that I never did anyway. So yeah, cream sauces are not, I mean, if I was going to make a cream sauce, I guess I would probably use a yogurt base. Like I do an enchilada. I make these amazing enchiladas and I use a yogurt base for it. So, so yeah, that's probably what I would use for that. Yeah, I love enchiladas. I'm from Texas. Hello. We eat that kind of thing. So, and I had to find a way to make it good. So, no, I've never canned collard greens, but my mom has, I remember. Freeze your pesto, but can your tomato sauces. I can my tomato sauces too, but I just make them in small batches. So, yeah. Yeah, so I just make them in small batches because, in fact, we just used a tomato sauce last night. Last night was a perfect example. We had friends over for dinner last night, and our friends love homemade spaghetti, and they don't, they eat at home a lot, but they don't, I mean, you know, anyway, it's just kind of our dinner. It's kind of the thing that we did, that we've been doing for like 15 years, you know, having spaghetti on Sunday night. And so I had to find a way to make it where it was actually clean so I could actually eat it. But so last night, it's not something that I have on a regular basis, but last night I had pasta. Now it was, you know, quinoa rice pasta, but it wasn't traditional wheat flour pasta. But yeah, so I did, you know, we had pasta last night. I made my own sauce. And so, yeah. Every other day I buy a yogurt muffin from this restaurant by the job. Oh, do you? Yeah, just make sure that it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. So it would probably be better if you learn how to make your own muffins and take them with you. And it would be cheaper too. And you would probably like them because then you could put whatever ingredients you want. Yeah, I love spaghetti squash. I'm actually doing a filming next week. And we're doing the same. I'm doing it with my friends that were here last night for dinner. And we're making spaghetti squash with some veggies. No sugar, only yogurt. Okay. But we're making, for the filming, we're actually making spaghetti, like traditional spaghetti meat sauce with the spaghetti squash. So, yeah. Hi from Turkey. There you go. Hi, Turkey. Hi from Colorado. All right, you guys, I'm going to pop off and go have my lunch. Please, I hope that you guys will join me this week for Fermenting Week. Tomorrow is going to be a great day. Learning how to make sauerkraut is so easy, and I can't wait to show you. So tomorrow, noon Mountain Time, that's 11 Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Central. So you guys, please consider joining me the rest of this week for Fermenting Week. And I would love that. I'd love your input. I like your insight. I like your ideas. I love that you guys keep me on track for the most part. Today is actually, I'm having a green salad and I'm using my sauerkraut and some veggies, and I'm using my sauerkraut as my salad dressing. Sauerkraut makes amazing salad dressing. And I always use like a sweet apple. So I'll have all my veggies and I'll put a sweet apple in there, and then I'll put my sauerkraut as my dressing and mix it all up, and it's super yummy. So yes, it's on my website too. Highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite things to do with sauerkraut. That's how I eat my sauerkraut most days actually. So is in my salad like that. So, and then my lunch is totally raw. So, pickled beet recipes. So pickling typically is not a fermented food. Pickling typically includes vinegar, and vinegar kills all of the probiotics. So vinegar is not a great thing to use. So pickling may be a little bit different than you may be thinking. I'm going to show you a beet kvass, yeah, which is a drink. So yeah, anytime that you get pickling of any kind, it's typically has vinegar in it, which will kill off all the bacteria. Now you can ferment pickles. You can make pickles that are fermented, but it's very, very little vinegar that you use, and they get kind of mushy. You have to be careful. So yeah. So, all right. Well, you guys have an amazing afternoon. Know that I love you and that I only want you to be healthy and happy. You guys go out and enjoy these beautiful fall days. If you're still in fall, we're still in fall here in northern Colorado, and they are apple cider vinegar is not really fermented, although it is very cleansing to the body. So it's a different good for you kind of thing. I'm actually, from my pineapple drink that I made with this, I'm actually reusing the rinds again, and I'm making some vinegar with it. So yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'd love to help you further your journey. So yes, so you guys get out, enjoy. Part of your health is going out and getting air and sunshine. So step outside today at some point, take some big deep breaths in. This is so good for your health. It's really good for your brain. Take some big deep breaths in and hold them. And hold them. When you do that, it releases oxygen to the brain. Yeah, Bragg's vinegar is amazing. I agree. Yep, it's great. With the mother is what you want. So, but it releases oxygen to the brain and helps stimulate your thought processes. And it helps alleviate stress, and it helps alleviate anxiety. It's a great thing to do. So yeah, bare feet, but it's cold. So no bare feet here. I will ground in the middle of winter, but I get really cold doing it. So yes, typically I ground, we have a hot tub, and so I will walk out barefoot to the hot tub and walk back in the house barefoot. So that's my grounding in the winter time. Because I know my feet are going to get really warm, and they're going to be warm when I get back out. So yes, but go outside and get yourself some fresh air today. Don't look at the sun, but put your face towards the sun and close your eyes and let it sit there for 5 minutes. It is such a huge stress reliever. I know, right? So taking deep breaths in and holding it, anxiety will start to alleviate. You'll feel your shoulders relax. You'll feel the tension in your mind starting to ease a little bit. Your thoughts will clear up a little bit. Do that 4 or 5 times and make it a practice, and I promise you it will help you. So that's my little bitty tiny health tip today. And don't forget that you're a human being living on this planet with other human beings. It's the most critical thing that you can do for your health, is to remember that you live on this planet with other people. And when you start taking care of yourself and you start lining your body up and your mindset changes towards things and towards the way you feel about yourself, and your confidence levels rise and you feel better about who you are and what you are, and that comes through health. I promise you, as we all start doing that, as we all start taking care of ourselves, then that's when we achieve world peace. That's when things come about in this world, where we start understanding and living with each other peacefully. So when you're at peace with yourself, it gives you liberty to be at peace with others. So please recognize that in yourself and do good stuff for yourself. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not selfish to take time for yourself. It is not being self-centered when you take some time and take some thought processes to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. So just keeping that in mind, you guys have an amazing day. Know that I love you and I only want you to be healthy and happy. Check out GoToKitchens.com. Please do. Give me your feedback. Sign up to become a VIP. If you go sign up to be a VIP, thank you so much. If you go sign up to be a VIP, I just dropped from last week on yesterday, I just dropped a file in that in our Facebook VIP Facebook page that is 10 sugar-free recipes for the holiday. So thank you. I'm glad you signed up. Thank you so much. Yeah. You guys have an amazing, oh my gosh, I just put my dad, my mom, okay, I have to tell you this is amazing. My mom and dad were here for a week, and they ate like I eat, like Robin and I eat all week. And my mom and dad are both overweight. Their health is not good. I mean, they suffer from all kinds of things. My mom's like on 8 different medications. And so they were here for a week with me, and I put them on all organic food, eating my diet, that 90-10 diet. And because they didn't have a choice. If you're going to eat, you're going to have to eat the way I eat. And my dad was like, I feel so much better after just a week. So they left here and implemented what they learned from me, from being here with a week for me, and implemented it in their lives. And it's been 5 weeks, and my dad has lost 25 pounds in 5 weeks. And he said, I don't miss anything out of my diet, not missing a thing. And I feel so much better. So see, this kind of thing works. So yes, and I have to tell you, he's less grumpy than he's ever been in my whole entire life. So it works, I'm telling you. I'm less grumpy. Yeah, I'm less grumpy than I used to be. I was actually a pretty grumpy individual. I went around, I didn't have like a scowl or anything. I've always looked towards the light in things, but you could get me grumpy pretty fast. I mean, things would upset me and make me mad very easily. And I just don't have that anymore. It just doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, it's amazing what your health can do for you. So, all right. So you guys have a good afternoon, and I will see you here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.